Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Town of Cedar Lake public meeting for the Plan Commission. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Here.
Mr. Parker?
Here.
Mr. Carnahan?
Here.
Mr. Swick?
Here.
Mr. Hunley?
Here.
Mr. Wolkenese?
Here.
Mr. Kapora?
Present.
Mr. Sherry?
Here.
Mr. Austin?
Present.
Mr. Eldridge is absent. Mr. Kubiak?
Here.
Ms. Heidig is present.
Okay. Minutes, December 3rd, 2025, work session, December 17th, 2025, public meeting. These have been distributed. Are there any corrections to them? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
I'll second. Motion by Mr. Parker, seconded by Mr. Becker. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swick?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wolkenese?
Yes.
Mr. Kapora?
Yes, motion carries, 7-0. Old business, M&L Adventure LLC, rezone preliminary plat, site plan, petitioner Vislaw, 12632 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Owner M&L Adventures LLC, care of Vislaw, Law, 12632 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Lost my place. Vicinity of 10715 West 133rd Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting rezone from B3 to B2 of the property, preliminary plat, and site plan approval for a one-lot subdivision.
Good evening, Mr. Kapura. Good to see you here this evening. Here on behalf of my client, M&L Adventures, we are finally here seeking preliminary plat approval, site plan approval, as well as a rezone. Special thanks to Ryan to my right, as well as to Luke for their yeoman's work the past couple of months here. This was a very difficult site, both for its location, past use, kind of where the water congregated both on this property, as well as some discharge from some adjacent residential properties. As I shared at the study session, we've added in, you can see in the preliminary plat in front of you, Lot 2 to the back. That's going to kind of be an overflow swale area as it travels its way towards the drainage swale along the railway. So we're here before you this evening seeking both rezone, number 1, 2, site plan approval, and then 3, a preliminary plat approval. If granted, this would allow my client to make haste with seeking to commence building this year. My understanding of speaking with Luke and Ryan is that the engineering water items that we discussed last time have been resolved. One of the outstanding questions was, and I think Mr. Kubiak referenced it as well, the bigger commercial strip centers are newer to Cedar Lakes. There's a question of what size water to run to them. We've gone back and forth and agreed on a 4-inch that would extend from the water main into the building, and then from there we'd have the appropriate spots to each of the proposed anticipated build-outs as they occur. I know one of the questions that was raised at the last meeting, Luke answered it, but I did include it in the packet. If you go to page 4, I've highlighted there, you can see surrounding the buildings, one of the questions that was raised was the stacking of the cars. Intentionally included this particular depiction. As you can see with the size of the building, it can stack 19 vehicles, and that's even before you get into the parking lot there, so wanted to highlight that as that concern had been raised last time. Other than that, Mr. Chairman, ready to entertain any questions and hopefully proceed this evening.
Okay. Mr. Austin, I've got on here a review of legals. Do we have to review those?
We do, and any action you take should be contingent upon it. I have an 1.5-inch thick file here, and I'm not going to render an opinion tonight.
Okay, should be contingent on that.
I knew we were missing something too.
Lisa didn't know she had sent it in red, so I so.
Okay. Luke, do you have any comments?
Yeah, we're getting very close on the, really on the engineering side. The last remaining item is really just how the external 4-inch water service will work internally with all the different units. You know, so it's really more of a plumbing plan that still needs to be worked out, just to show how that larger service will split into the individual services with their meters. I did receive a preliminary plat this afternoon. I will have a few comments on that. I didn't get completely through it, but there will be a few items just to fix on that front as well.
Minor,
They're pretty minor. They're cleanup items more than anything. But there will be some comments.
okay, and on that main coming in, that 4-inch main is okay, it's just, you just have to work out how it would be dispersed between, per se, 7 tenants.
Yeah, that's really more of it's not really an engineering thing, it's really more of an architectural thing, because it's internal to the building, but yeah, it's really how that is gonna be configured. And obviously they have up to 8 potential units here, so, it's a lot trickier than a normal. So that's one last item to be worked out as well. Other than that, I think we've come a long way on this one, so we're almost to the finish line.
Okay, everybody keeps saying 8, we always discuss 7 units. So I don't want that 8 units to sneak in there.
So I thought it was 7 too.
Yeah, well.
I'm sorry, I
It's not
misspoke.
72, it's
7.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So just so we stay at it, because we had discussed 7 all along. Do I have to call for remonstrations? I didn't hear it.
It's on the agenda.
Yeah, it's on the, that's why I asked.
Why not?
Why not? All right, let me call for
I'll sit down.
remonstrators. Do we have any remonstrators for or against? Any remonstrators for or against? Last call. Remonstrations closed. Thank you. Okay, building department.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we just got the preliminary plat today at 3:15, so I mean, I'm not gonna say I like it, but I'm not the engineer. When you mentioned the second lot too, is it now a 2-lot subdivision, or is it just a portion of lot 1?
Excuse me, no, I just refer,
It's all included.
it's all included, just for clarity purposes.
I just
That's-
wanna make sure it was still a 1-lot subdivision.
Yeah, no, it's
but
just-
I know you referenced,
yeah.
I'm looking at the picture I have, so I just asked the question. But,
Yep.
Yeah, I know they needed to add this piece of property, I know they re-advertised to include the piece of property, and that's kind of what created the little bit of an addition to the plat, you know, I know that was something that we've been waiting to get, you know, but, at the end of the day, they added enough property to get the drainage to work and all of that, so, being that it's a preliminary plat, and, I mean, as long as Luke doesn't have issues with it, I mean, this is a 2-step process, preliminary and final plat, so I don't have any concerns, I mean, and,
Are you reviewing this right now?
I'm looking at it.
You're looking at it right now?
I've seen it at
Okay.
3:15.
Okay,
flat,
all right.
But I mean, like I said, the site plan hasn't changed from before. The site plan is the site plan that was there. The addition to the site plan is just drainage from the additional property. So at the end of the day, the parking, the site plan, and everything is the same thing we've been looking at now for 4 months. So
Right.
I don't have any concerns with that at all. The rezone is cleaning it all up to B2, which
Yep.
there's some R2, some B3, and some B2, so, I see that as, you know, we talked about that previously with the PUD, and then just cleaning up the zoning to a straight R2 zone with a couple variances for the parking, and they took that direction, and I feel that was the best move, and it seems like that, I mean, obviously that B2 zoning fits for the use of the building, so. With that, as long as Luke, like I said, the preliminary plat is the thing that we were kind of waiting for. We had a paper with the actual property that was going to be included, but we just didn't have the actual preliminary plat until today.
But in 2 weeks ago, we heard they acquired more property. which solved the problem, which is what you got today.
That's what's on the new, that is the new preliminary plat we were waiting for. Before, it was just a tract 1 and tract 2, it wasn't actually the plat, so,
Yeah, it was to add in what's labeled as Lot 2 in the preliminary plat.
so, that's a,
So do we have a red line drawing, or red line corrections from legal on this?
for the plat.
I wouldn't do anything on the plat. Plat would be the engineer and
I'm just getting the feeling, again, this is last minute stuff. It's not ready. 2 weeks ago, we heard about more property. Luke says he just got this thing today. You said 4 o'clock. Nobody has time to review these things. I don't understand why deadlines are a problem. I don't. I really don't understand. I have a whole bunch of questions tonight about understanding.
And again, the concern is of the preliminary plat is what we didn't have, but the site plan is exactly the same as
Right.
we've had for quite a long time.
How many BZA approvals were given on this property?
Just the parking.
Parking,
Just the parking?
front, side, back, yard parking.
And the sign and all that stuff is,
That's still before us.
that's what?
That's still before us. They had to re-advertise because
Okay.
they had to re-advertise for
So, okay.
off-premise sign.
So we don't know what the BZA is gonna waive or not waive?
That's correct.
Okay.
The only thing before us is the sign,
Yeah,
and that'll be
Okay.
at next month's.
okay.
I think the rezone's ready to go. We're gonna take this in 3 different bites, right?
Yeah.
That's what,
Yeah, there's 3 different, yep.
Well, that would be good.
yeah, well, that's the way
That would
it
be
is on the agenda. I think the rezone is good.
Yep.
And then you got preliminary plat and then the
site
site plan.
So I guess the only other, the other thing here is, wasn't there a motion on November 5th for the council to review this? I'm sorry, that was something else. Okay.
Yeah, I think,
Nope, I'm
just-
good.
I think we're
Thank
good
you.
with taking action on the rezone.
Yeah, the rezone's good,
Yes.
absolutely
We'll do that
good,
first.
You
absolutely.
wanna get that out of the way?
Yeah,
All right.
yep.
If there's no further questions on the rezone, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Excuse me, Mr.
Hang on,
President,
hang on.
can we make the right motion, please, to certify a recommendation to the town council is what the motion should be, favorable, unfavorable, or none?
Okay. I need a motion to, town council to either send a favorable, unfavorable, or no action at all to the town council.
I'll make a motion, make a favorable motion to, for the town council to.
I'll second Mr. Becker's favorable motion.
Mr.
Motion
President,
made to send a favorable recommendations to town council for the rezone.
one more item. May I suggest that the motion include contingency that the other approvals for the project proposed on this property be approved? In other words, the site plan and plat get approved.
So moved.
I'll amend the same, yes.
Thank you.
A motion by Mr. Becker, seconded by Mr. Wilkening. No further questions, roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swick?
yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Capora?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. All right, now preliminary plat. What problems, if any, do we have with this?
So I think, Mr. President, if I could, as Mr. Kubiak indicated at the study session, we had these 2 on separate pages, so to speak, of the paper, and what needed to happen was they be melded together on one document. I apologize that it got to you guys today. Things take time, but what you see before you is the exact same site plan that we've been studying, as Mr. Kubiak said, for the past 4 months, and we've added to it what's labeled as Lot 2 here. Just for the record again, we've discussed along the back side of the property where there's the drainage ditch, there's going to be a fence that's compliant with your requirements to separate B2 from residential. That fence is going to continue along that triangular portion along the drainage swale all the way down to the roadway to ensure that separation, again, all compliant with your standards. So, as also indicated, this is a preliminary plat. We're going to have to follow it up with a final plat I don't want to speak for Luke, but I think we're in a position here where we've studied this pretty intensely, and we've handled the significant issues, which are the water issues, and I think we're at a point where we can approve it, maybe subject to final verification from engineering as to any concerns that they have before we get to town council in the next couple of weeks.
I agree with you on part, but disagree with you on another part.
Okay.
And just so I'm clear, you haven't reviewed this yet, the revisions, Dave, have you?
No.
So if there's gonna be contingencies, it should include engineering and legal review.
That's fine. Yeah.
If that's, and I'm just saying that for clarity, so everybody's clear on where we're going with this, with the, preliminary plat and the site plan going forward. For the second bite and third,
Pardon?
for the second and third bite.
Right. Any other questions or discussion?
No.
Nothing? Anybody? Well then, I'll entertain a motion. This is just a motion, it's not a, it's not an approval.
Favor
Well,
recommendation.
it certainly is.
It is.
It is.
Preliminary plat is
Just want to
substantive.
get it clear. Okay.
Your actions here are dispositive and set the table, and
I'll entertain a motion for either favorable, unfavorable, or no motion, no action to town council on this.
I'm sorry, John, if I misspoke and you misheard or I missaid, I want to make sure we're clear. The jurisdiction of the plan commission exclusively is over plats. This is yours.
It doesn't go to the town.
Does not go to the council. This is yours.
It's our approval.
Approval with conditions if you deem appropriate or not.
Mr. President, I'm still confused. Do we need remonstrators on this item too?
This is, it appears to be a public hearing. I, again, did not go through the legals as, I
Why not?
saw them.
We do for the preliminary plat, you do need to invest.
Yeah, that's what
Preliminary plat
that's what I
requires
thought.
that, though.
And I just wanna make sure,
No, I agree. I
so,
agree. I need help.
well,
Why
we're
not?
a team here,
Why
right?
not?
Do we have any remonstrators for or against? Any remonstrators for or against? Last call? Stations are closed.
Mr. President,
Dave.
do we have a letter on file from, Luke and Christopher B. Burke, on conditions and contingencies?
Luke?
I have it, we have a number of review letters that we wrote. I think the latest one was February 6th, 2026. My memory is not completely zapped by my children. So I guess the contingencies from an engineering standpoint would be that all of those comments in that letter be addressed.
That's what I'm looking for. You usually use the Burke letter as a contingency of approval or action, and you have one, as Luke has indicated.
February what, 4th?
February 6th, 2026.
You have that letter?
So the other outstanding items, like the billboard and things of that nature, that still has to go through the BZA. Those are all related to the site plan, correct?
They are, but they're also married to the plat. So your contingencies could include and properly might be inclusive of those conditions. Those approvals still needed. BZA for sign, you have a new parcel, if you will, by legal description. For the plat, you have conditions by your engineer. So you have a number of items here that are technical and exclusively yours.
Yeah, we didn't really cover that thus far, so I wanted to make sure that everybody was clear on that as well. There's also a BZA approval that still isn't.
And that's connected to the plat. That's why you didn't talk about it on the zone change.
It's connected to the site plan and the plat, correct?
It is, actually.
Was the contingency you had recommended, was that all the other things be taken care of and approved?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, if you were lumping it into a single basket, that's right.
Okay.
I got one other question.
Chuck has a question down there.
Do we have to, I don't know if it falls under both, or just the site plan about the traffic study? Depends on the businesses that's gonna go in there.
You can do that both in plat and or site plan.
I mean, has there been a recent traffic study for that site, since it's, like I said, I know morning and evening, it's,
You need to ask the developer representatives.
There was a little discussion about that while you were Zooming a couple weeks ago. Just a little bit of discussion, but Mr. Viss can explain to you.
Yeah, I think the engineers collaborate together to take a look at what should ingress egress on this site look like, and that's why we have 2 ingress egresses on that site onto 133rd Avenue. We worked with our contractor familiar with one of the anticipated anchor tenants to make sure the sizing and the depth worked out, and that's why we went above and beyond when you see the 19 stacking. And then there could also be an additional potentially 10-car stack up to the ingress egress to 133rd. The other item that was looked at is you've got the center lane in 133rd Avenue as well as the slowdown section with the railway, my understanding, and all the engineers looking at it, as well as the 2 ingress egresses, that we've developed a very
I can't hear
safe
what he's
development.
saying.
Sorry, Bob.
cause I'm worried about people exiting during rush hour, or whatever, and then, I know with that turning lane, with the 3rd lane in the middle, you gotta worry about right there by the tracks, cause if you're going westbound, people don't know, if they're not unfamiliar, they're gonna hit that concrete, thinking, they're not gonna know it stops right there at the railroad tracks.
Yeah, I know what you're
Before
looking. Yeah, Mr. Becker, I looked at that online today, actually just drove through it, and the concrete's back far enough, so people will be turning out right if they're exiting to go towards the school, for example. Or if they're coming westbound, you cross the tracks, and it's about 75 to 100 feet, and then it opens up the entire center lane there for turning left there.
I was just afraid, like I said, people, I'm just gonna hurry up, cut through the middle lane, and they're gonna hit that concrete right before the tracks, cause they're thinking, cause it's right after the tracks, right
Yeah,
there, that,
you have to get up, before you'll be able to turn in, it's gonna be where that gray car is, not the red car, but where the gray car is up on the screen. And that's about 150 feet from the edge of the concrete to that gray car there.
yeah, but you're gonna be turning, I thought we were turning right over there on the right side of the tracks.
On the left side, 2 driveways over to the left of the west of the railroad track.
Luke, would you do the west entrance, entrance exit? Show us where that west
Okay.
entrance exit is.
Yeah.
Is that the apron?
It's the,
Yep.
That's going west.
And actually, the way this is designed, it's pushed even further west.
Yep.
Well, that's what I'm looking at on here, and it looks like it's pushed even farther over.
Yeah, it's over
That
further.
existing one is being demolished and it's being
But I'm talking about if you're going west.
further to the left.
If you're going west, they're gonna hit the if we don't put some kind of cone or something there, they're gonna think they can go all the way in that turning lane over the railroad tracks to turn left right there.
Luke, where's the east entrance exit? Right where the white block is?
Display is.
Okay.
So your concern is people will cut out of the lane going west before the railroad track,
Correct.
go through the thinking they'll go over the railroad.
Right, they're just gonna go in, turning lane and they're gonna,
Well,
cause they're gonna turn left right away and then, is there any way we can put something there?
It's pretty visible with the paint that's there.
Okay. I can just see someone in a hurry, how they fly down the turning lanes.
Luke,
We'll only make that mistake once.
The one person.
I guess that's why I would anticipate back in 2011, 2010, it was designed with the center turning lane, anticipating that stretch was going to develop eventually on both sides.
well, that's why the aprons were put in there.
Right.
Luke, do you have You don't recall any notes from 133rd widening project running across any vision triangles? I think that was all vetted pretty good. I mean, there's of course, there's always gonna be one somewhere, but
Yeah, no, I don't recall seeing anything like that.
It kinda looks like the exit for this project will be, just, the same as the beauty salon that's across the street.
what
Well, I'm
beauty
thinking if you have a big
Used to be
time,
SOS, I don't know the name of it.
if you're having a major retailer there, where you're gonna have a lot of traffic, is what I'm talking about.
Are both the openings to 133rd, are both of them an in and an out?
Yes, yep. I think the other thing to keep in mind is that these sorts of developments attract the traffic that's already to and from that's passing through. And I think that's what's critical, is that it's not drawing in more from outside, it's accessorizing the traffic that's already going to and from. So to the extent that we're anticipating it's gonna draw on that much more heavy traffic, it draws on the original traffic that's already there. And perhaps what needs to be assessed as this whole stretch develops, you got Jet Pizza and the other folks that are, you know,
Wingstop.
800 feet up the street, and they're drawing in traffic as well. I think the town is just gonna need to make sure that you've got this whole stretch cleanly painted via public, works. That's just really critical. One thing that I've seen in other communities, especially Valparaiso, there's a lot you can do with paint for safety and other measures, and clearly that center line is anticipated there for this development and other developments here.
Well, I know that the industrial park did a traffic study, to 133rd a long time ago. I don't know if, you're privy to that, but that's one of the reasons I asked a couple weeks ago about it.
And I don't think,
How long
Mr.
ago?
Wilkie, I'm thinking
Long time ago.
Jerry,
summer winds.
We should have,
Hang on. What?
we should have NDOT required traffic study documentation for that project. Is NDOT overseeing? Now, I don't know where that documentation's at, but I believe it should be in this town hall somewhere.
It should be, because it was done for the lighting project.
Well, and
Well-
we had issues with the road and its construction as a consequence of some people not reading that very well.
I think, Dave, we also did one when we put in King Drive to the Summer Wind
Yeah, you're
residential
right.
development.
You're right.
Because redevelopment commission, we funded that whole intersection,
Yeah.
and that was all premised upon a study of the residents to the south. And that'd be
That-
from
that had-
2015, 16.
Right, that had a stoplight.
Yeah, 'cause that was on
So-
RDC then, and we paid
Right.
for a whole study then. Yeah,
So there should be data around here.
yeah, but that was mainly geared towards enabling the traffic, the residential from the south to come left and right.
Yeah,
That was
we-
done
we-
10 years ago, though, right?
We have no traffic, we have no traffic controls here, though.
Yeah, and I think what that would indicate is just the amount of traffic to and from that's traveling in front of it.
Yeah, well, and Chuck, I had mentioned, again, you may not have heard it, I had mentioned the school letting everybody out, and all the traffic in the morning and all the traffic at night, especially on Fridays. You know, we had talked about all that.
And I tried to get, Indiana Department of, Transportation to put a turn arrow on 133rd so you could go south and north. And, they said, their engineers said it wasn't justified, and they told me we're just gonna adjust the light to hold, the traffic that's trying to go north and south.
They probably did it from their phone.
No, he had to come out and do it. But I keep trying to get that.
I've got 4 contingencies here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
No turn on that.
Well, what, is there any more conversation, or do we wanna figure out what we're gonna do here?
I have no more comments.
And actually, the 4 contingencies would be on both of them.
What to me the contingency and sign affects both of them, but it should not affect moving forward on this project, because that can always be worked out at a later date. The idea here would be to get the project off.
John, I respectfully, I don't disagree with you, but I don't think I'm the only one. I would like to get a place on the plan commission for as long as it exists, because I think it may not exist that much longer. That things are ready when they get here, and we don't need to do 4 contingencies on an approval.
I agree, and that's been a problem for the last 10+ years.
It's just frustrating.
Yeah. Well, you guys are commissioners here, you guys, come up with, what you wanna do here.
Luke, what do you have on your immediate list?
It's gonna be a handful of comments on the preliminary plat. It's gonna be final plumbing plans for the building, showing water connections.
Is there something special about the plumbing plan that you're involved in the internal plumbing plan of the building?
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
No, I just sort of help coordinate between the design team and town public works, that what's going on outside will work with what's going on inside, and that's kind of
But once
my
it's
role.
once it's inside, they can create all their own problems they want.
Well, it's just, and again, I don't think it's a big thing, but I feel like, I mean, if there's a big line coming in and then individual meters to the unit from that big line, then there needs to be a meter room that's accessible by the public works to shut off, turn on and shut off units.
So it won't be,
The architect already has a water room.
Yeah.
The
Right,
building
right,
was
right.
designed into it.
So
Really,
okay.
the intent originally was a 2 and a separate 1.5 for the prime tenant, because that's what they required. But it turned out that the suggestion was a 4 and branch it out, so he said, after asking and getting approval that that
Yeah,
could be okay, we said, that's fine, run the 4, and it would just, maybe there was one more unit that has to come out of that room instead of it being fed.
So this will be a meter room with 7 meters?
Potentially, up to.
Potentially 7 meters,
Yeah.
and you'll have access to it?
Yeah.
You have a key for
Correct.
the door and the
Or
whole
other-
thing?
Or the other option is that they have a 4-inch water service with a 4-inch water line, and then they deal with a 4-inch meter that's read remotely, and they deal with the water.
Which way is it gonna be?
I think the intent was to separate them up.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Individual
Certain
meters.
tenants
i.e.
don't
the
wanna
water
pay
room.
Yeah.
For other tenants' water bills, so
Correct.
I think the intent was to come in and we'll have a utility room.
Well,
to the extent.
yeah, I mean, Starbucks should be paying for all
And
the
that's kind
water.
of that's kind of the site plan thing too, so if you guys are uncomfortable, I mean, the preliminary plat approval with loose contingencies tonight, and then the final plat and the site plan can be at next month if you guys have any
Right.
any issues with that part of his site plan approval, because they need to wait 30 days prior to a final plat anyway, so, I mean, that would kind of move it down the road without,
I agree.
I'm just throwing it out there, just for.
Well, I agree with Greg. I mean, if we get it all and it's done and it's good and it's clean, we're moving right along.
If you defer it for 30 days here, by then you have your answer from the BZA, you have your answer from the engineer and from legal. What was the 4th contingency?
Finding that traffic study.
Oh, the traffic study. I don't think you'll have that by then, do you? But
It's somewhere.
It's
It
somewhere.
exists.
Oh,
It's existing.
it's existing.
I guess,
Yeah.
what does the traffic study get us, other than the amount of cars that are traveling to and from in front of the area?
Would there be a recommendation of anything on a traffic study like that for certain blocks of that 133rd?
It'll probably tell you existing conditions, traffic, or at least existing conditions at the time.
But it wouldn't make any recommendations.
No.
It would have to look at what they're proposing here, and then the ingress, egress, and the proposed traffic patterns of the people that are coming to Starbucks and the other 6 buildings that are there, and then it would be able to tell you the ramifications of that on local traffic. So the traffic study would have had to have been done for this specific
Right.
project.
I guess, was there a traffic study that was required of the 2 unit that's right up the street? Because what I'm trying to grapple with is, we're capturing existing traffic that's going to and from, encouraging them to come in. And when you're doing that, and you have safe ingress, egress along the suicide lane in the middle, it's just unclear to me what additional study to understand whether it's 70,000 cars, 80,000 cars a day is adding to the area. Because the way that this is all zoned is, it's the hope of the town to develop this whole corridor. And that's what we're encouraging, that's why we have it zoned that way.
I think my question 2 weeks ago was more flow and direction
Sure.
as to quantity.
Yeah, and I think
I mean,
that's why
you can't stack any more cars
Yep.
on this property.
And that's why we've got-
With hot coffee.
Sure, no, and that's why we've got, that's why,
I get it.
yeah,
It's that westbound thing that I had
Yep.
expressed my concerns about.
yep.
What's your pleasure?
Having this clean when it comes back, that was what you were saying, your preliminary plat, and everything would be all cleaned up?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You ready to
I
go?
guess the preliminary plat is the preliminary plat. If Luke has any little minor changes to that, I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, we know the property, but the site plan can be deferred till next month. The preliminary plat can be approved based on his, he's not gonna recommend a final plat approval with any problems, so this
Right.
gives the time to let everything get accomplished, I believe. I know that they've been here for 6 months now with the idea and the process. But I guess at the end of the day, when you look at everything, they added that little piece of property to meet Luke's drainage requirements because they were having a problem doing that. So, now that is good by adding this little piece of property. So I kind of feel like, it's kind of a situation where they needed to acquire that little bit more land to make the drainage
Well,
work properly.
I don't know if I have a problem holding back on the site plan. I don't think I have a problem with that.
I guess respectfully, I can appreciate you want things top-notch when they're turned in, no issues, not last minute. But the site plan has not altered significantly at all in the last 4 months. We've got a final that would need to be...
Added property to the east.
Right, and Mr. Wilking, respectfully, one of the reasons why we did that is we are helping resolve not only the drainage issue for this property, but for adjacent properties. That's a significant give that I think needs to be recognized for the town and the residents. And if we defer this another 30 days, that puts us candidly into a building cycle for next year. And we candidly lose one of our tenants.
The retention pond that's been existing has not changed a bit. It hasn't changed at all, even though you have more stormwater capacity?
Well,
Your original retention pond, that hasn't been...
It's been enlarged. That's been the significant engineering question the last 3-4 months is resolving water.
But now you have more capacity, that hasn't changed and will not change.
Right,
Okay.
right. And so what we've added is that drainage swale to help with the overflow. And I think that's candidly my client's digging deep into his pocket to resolve a water issue in this section of the town. And as Mr. Kubiak says, final's gotta be right. And that again puts the onus on folks on our end to make sure that we meet all of Luke's requirements. But there's really no substantial deviation from what this site plan, from what we've had for the past 3 months before you.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve the preliminary plat contingent on all of Christopher Burke's comments in the letter get resolved. It gets legal review, contingent on legal review, and it's also contingent on BZA approval for that billboard, which I'm not fond of.
I'll second that.
Yeah, Tim?
I just got a question, so
Did I miss any contingencies?
No.
I guess I just got a question for your motion, Greg. If the BZA, does not approve the billboard, you're saying that he can't build this building if there's no billboard, or, I mean, the billboard, if it gets denied, they can't have it, if it gets approved, they can have it, so I don't know what bearing the billboard has on the rest of the building, I guess.
I think the bearing is that we're approving things, and BZA is unapproving things. And we don't know exactly
We don't know
what they
what
are.
they're gonna do, so, I mean,
Whether it be a billboard or whether it be building a building next to the railroad tracks.
But I guess if the billboard gets denied, there's just gonna be a monument sign for the business. And if
And that'll show up in the final, right?
Is that lot 7 or lot 8?
right, but I mean, there's no, I guess to me, it seems like the billboard is kind of in the BCA's hands regardless, because if it gets denied, it's not gonna be there at all.
well, it's because it's not ready, Tim, and I gotta do these contingencies, I'm
Okay, I
erring on
just-
it,
I
on an
guess-
extreme amount of caution.
Right, but I guess the way that I understand your motion is that if the BCA denies the billboard, then
Then I
they
think
don't
we
have.
probably need to revisit it.
I'm confused. So Tim raises a good question. So are you
Okay.
saying that if BZA approves the billboard, then it still has to come back to Plan Commission?
If it doesn't get approved.
That's the contingency Mr. Oshin had included in that little
So if
triage.
BZA says no to billboard, but
To
says yes.
the modified billboard.
Right, but says yes to the monument sign, are you still wanting the monument sign approval to come back to Plan Commission? I'm just trying to be clear with what's being asked.
That's part
They're
of,
entitled to a monument sign, right?
you are, that's part of the site plan.
Yeah.
Right, we're just asking for a variation from the sign.
It's the super sign that is in front of the BZA.
And we've asked for an expansion on the monument sign, a slight one, yeah.
I just wanted to clear also, because I kind of took it, the way he said it, I took it as if you don't get the
That's
variance.
exactly what he said.
If you don't get the variance for the billboard, then this part is not approved.
That's right. That's exactly what was said.
Yeah, that would be the contingency.
It was either, in my mind, is either that or a deferral. I just wanna cover everything. Again, I'm not fond of the billboard. I don't know what the BZA is gonna do. It's anybody's guess. But if I had to make the decision sitting here tonight, it would be, an approval without the billboard.
Mhm.
'Cause, I mean,
The monument sign, but,
Monument sign's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah,
But I just don't, we've worked so hard to make that 133rd corridor, clean it up and make it respectable over the last 15, 20 years. Just throwing up a billboard over there just clutters the thing up, in my view. So, that's
Well,
my opinion.
My comment on that is, if I may, is I've thought about this a lot from our BZA meeting and what we had here at the Plan Commission about this sign. Now, if you drive up and down 133rd, which I've done several times here just to see what signs are there, you've got Culver's, you've got all the banks, you've got the school, you've got the gas station, you've got Schilling, they all got some sort of a monument in or a, for lack of better terminology, billboard sign, which I'll call a pole sign. So I don't see where this sign, after a lot of thinking and looking at that corridor, how this sign is going to damage that corridor to any degree.
If it just pertained to the business that they had there, the businesses they had there, John, I would agree with you.
Okay?
But it's a advertising billboard sign that isn't pertaining to the businesses that are there. It's basically the 8th business.
Okay,
That's my problem.
all right, gotcha.
So I got no problem with a monument sign advertising all the businesses.
So, back to the site. Are there 2 businesses or are there 1 business? It all's gonna depend.
Well, one business owns the property and owns the
Right.
building,
Right,
multiple tenants.
right. But the
On-site.
billboard is another revenue generator for
Right.
advertising. So is that
Correct.
an advertising business? So is there potential of 8 businesses on the property, 7 in the building?
It's
We're talking
owned by
about
the,
7 tenants and a billboard that is also a business but isn't actually.
So 8 businesses on the property.
Well,
That's what's,
No.
go ahead.
I mean, I'll just put it this way. The original intent was for that to be, let's say, a separate thing.
And that's the way I've always taken it.
And
Me too.
from conversations that I've heard, that seemed like a thing that was an issue. I go, okay, fine, and then I guess it's owned by the development. Is it an 8 business? Is it a separate revenue source? I guess, but it's a revenue source for that development. If that's the issue, you know what I mean? My intent is not to give it to
Well,
Lamar,
the-
if that's your concern. but-
The devil's always in the details
Yeah.
here, and I've said it many times, the future has to visit the past more often than ever, and, that's what's going on in my head. That's why I want this perfectly clear.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's more a matter of how do I fit it into what you want kind of thing, than trying to create a separate business.
Well, when the planning commission has jurisdiction, tell me I'm wrong anytime, Mr. Austin. When the planning commission has jurisdiction over a site plan, and the BZA is making an approval to deviate from the site plan that we're going to approve, after we approve something, makes no sense.
It's out of,
0 cents
it's
to
out of
me.
sequence.
0 cents to me. Matter of fact, the meeting should be switched.
Yes.
The meeting should be switched. But that, I'm sorry, I'm going down,
Is this
I'm going down a rabbit hole.
Is this in addition to the motion that's already been made, or just after, added on to
Well,
the?
they had questions about the motion I made.
Okay.
Did you get your questions answered, Tim, about the motion?
Yeah, I'm still confused,
Okay.
but I got it. I don't understand it, I guess. I'm good. Confused.
Well, we got a motion and a second, so
Can we get a second?
where, yeah, I
Yeah,
seconded it,
Jerry
I think.
seconded it.
Okay.
So,
Mr. Parker, I think the other item is that this is a preliminary plat. We've got a final plat that eventually has to be approved, so you've got final say with
Yeah,
that.
and I'm aware of that. I want another bite at the apple,
Yeah,
so.
I think we need a vote, Mr. President.
Okay, we got a motion by, Mr. Parker, and seconded by, Mr. Wilkeney to, approve, the preliminary plat, contingent on, legal review, engineering, review and approval, of his letter, with all the items on it. I think it said February 6, 2026.
yes.
And,
BZA.
and the BZA.
For the items that are at the BZA.
Well, the only item to BZA is to sign.
I think that, he said there was a modification.
Yeah,
to
there's
the-
two. One is to enlarge the size of the monument sign, and then the second is approval for an off-site billboard sign.
So it's 2 items.
That's what I meant, there's a sign.
Yeah.
But there's 3 parts to the sign.
2 signs.
Two parts.
Two parts to the
Yep.
sign.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, but I meant the sign was the only thing before, yeah. Correct. Okay, another further discussion, roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swett?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkeney?
Yes.
Mr. Sephora?
Yes, motion carries 7-0.
And on the site plan, I'm gonna make a motion to defer that item.
I'll second that also.
I have a motion by Mr. Parker to defer the site plan until next, month, and a second by Mr. Wilkening. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swett?
No.
Mr. Hunley?
No.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Caparella?
Yes. Motion carries 5-2.
Thank you.
Okay. Number 2, Diamond Towers, 5 site plan review, petitioner Katie Harms, 120 Mountain Avenue, Springfield, New Jersey. Owner, Town of Cedar Lake, 7408 Constitution Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Vicinity of 13960 Moore Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is seeking an update site plan review for a cell phone tower. Do we have a petitioner? No petitioner?
I thought she said she was gonna be online at the last meeting, but Cheryl said she didn't know anything about it, so I'm not too sure.
Is this ready?
She was gonna talk, or have her lawyers talk to me, and I have not received any contact from them.
Do you have any updated, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Luke, do you have any updated information from them regarding their drainage plan and our 50%, whatever it was? Nothing?
No, the latest I see is the same one we looked at the last meeting, it's the same one that's in the packet.
Okay.
Yeah, we want them to cover what they work.
Yeah, there was a timeline that this will be done and this will be done.
Right.
Yeah.
Motion to defer to next meeting.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Parker to defer this until next month. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swett?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Caparella?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Number 3, Lakeview Business Park, Lot 9. Petitioner Brad Zitowski, 4021 167th Avenue, Lowell, Indiana. Owner Tammy Zitkowski, 3940 167th Avenue, Lowell, Indiana. Vicinity of 13721 Osborne Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting approval of site plan for a new structure and occupancy for their modern heating and cooling business. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Josh Penley with DBG Team, 1155 Troutline Road, Crown Point, Indiana. We're the engineering consultants on this site. Here with me is Brad Zitowski from Modern Heating and Cooling. He's managing this project from their end. He can answer any questions you have as well. This will be the new home for Modern Heating and Cooling. This is Lot 9 of Lakeview Business Park. We've been studying the site with you for a couple of months now, and there have been no changes since you've last seen it. The site is variance-free, and we've addressed all the comments from the town engineer. And we're here to ask for your approval for site development.
Luke, do you have anything?
No, not much. Really, the only issue on this one was the configuration of the water services, which we got hammered out just recently, and so that was kind of the last box to check, which I think we've done. So I think we're good on this one.
I do also want to mention that we do have a tenant already for one of the spaces. It is an insurance, Maxi Insurance, MAKI. So I just wanted to mention that we do already have one tenant set up.
Okay. This is pretty cut and dry, I think. Yeah. Do the building department have anything?
No, like I said, we got the water stuff situated. I told Brad to mention the tenant for the other side, so they didn't have to come back for a site plan approval for an occupancy, just so you guys knew what was going in there. If you had any questions, besides the Modern Heating was an insurance company, right?
Maxi Insurance.
So just trying to kind of say, I mean, if you guys, generally, if they know what's going in at this point in time, that first person wouldn't have to come back for a site plan approval for the insurance business for the office, so.
But they will have to see you for a permit, for
Oh, yeah, for
occupancy.
sure, yeah, absolutely. It'll just save the coming here for, to let you know the insurance company's going in. So since he had a tenant, I told him we may as well let you guys know, just so everybody's on the same page.
Smart thinking.
Luke, you have a letter from January 26th. Everything on there's good. There's 3 pages.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's been addressed. The last remaining item was that water service, thing we talked about, so, we're all good.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments?
No, sir.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the petitioner's request for a site plan for the new structure and occupancy for their modern heating and cooling business.
I second it.
To include the tenant mentioned by the owner.
Mackey
Mackey Insurance.
I second it.
Yes, Mr. Austin?
And Seabell's letter.
And Seabell's letter for compliance.
126,
I'm going with that, yeah.
26.
This gives you a base.
I'll second Jerry's motion without
Yeah,
changes.
12626.
We have a motion by Mr. Wilkening to approve, second by Mr. Hundley. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
I didn't know if,
I just have
Jim,
one quick thing,
raise
when I
your
was
hand.
talking to Brad earlier, I mean, he just for the record, they're also modern home builder slash heating and
Modern
cooling,
Building
so.
Contractors is also run out of the same office as Modern Heating. So it's 2 businesses, same owners, 2 different businesses.
I don't know if you have.
So all the wording on here is wrong?
Well, I guess I just wanted it to be known, I don't think there's any extra signage or anything, but I just told them, I mean, for clarity, I wanted to, you know.
The sign on the what's the sign on the building
The
gonna
name on
say?
the door is Modern Heating and Cooling.
Modern heating and cooling.
But it needs to be noted, 2 business out of that 1 office. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it just needs to, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I just wanted to clarify that.
Well, we need good record.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were supposed to say that, you were supposed to not write this down and see anything.
Sit down.
Hey, listen, get him to write it down for you.
That's right.
That won't, he won't do it. You have to listen
I
close.
put it on him and then he didn't do it, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure it got done.
That's what I told you.
So you're gonna add that to your motion, Jerry?
I'll add all that discussion to my motion.
Thank you.
Modern home
concur,
builders,
Jim?
modern heating, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here again, we have a motion to approve by Mr. Wilkening, but all the conversation, seconded by Mr. Hundley. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swett?
Yes.
Mr. Hundley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Caprow?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 4, Wedding Developmental Site Plan, owner Kim Wedding, Wedding Developmental LLC, 15590 Hendrick Street, Lowell, Indiana. Vicinity of 13791 Osborne Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioners requesting site plan approval for a single building on lot number 13 in Lakeview Business Park, Commercial Industrial Building.
Hello,
Hi.
Ryan Torringa with Torringa Engineering, 907 Ridge Road, Munster. Yeah, so nothing on the plans has changed from the previous meeting a couple weeks ago, where we believe we established answering all of the engineering questions that Luke had brought forth and providing plans that would be acceptable. So we are looking tonight for acceptance of the site plan, so that the owners can begin their work, which they are anxious to do.
Luke, everything okay?
Yeah, this one there was a handful of minor items left at the last meeting, and those were addressed, so they did everything that we asked them to do, so I think we're all good on this one.
Green space and the lighting and everything, were all
Yeah.
discussions. It's
Yeah,
all taken care of.
a couple of those minor comments were related to the lighting, which they did address. Yeah, there should be nothing else on this one.
Good. Tim, do you have anything on this?
No, this was, all good.
Commissioners, anything? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion, Mr. President. We approve the site plan for the single building on Lot 13 in Lakeview Business Park, Commercial Industrial Building vicinity 13791 Osborne Street.
I'll second it.
Have a motion by Mr. Wilkening, second by Mr. Swick. No further questions, roll call, please.
Are you going to include the, review letter?
Yeah, I will amend my motion to include the review letter from, Christopher Burke Engineering, i.e. Luke Sherry.
Thank you.
You agree?
second it.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swick?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mr. Pecora?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Diamond Peak, number 5, Diamond Peak, extension of primary plat for Harvest Creek. Owner petitioner, Diamond Peak Homes, 1313 White Hawk Drive, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307. Vicinity of 9210 West 155th, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting to extend the primary plats for Harvest Creek. This has review of legals, is there any?
There aren't, this is not subject to that.
Okay, proceed, please.
Good evening, Commissioners. Michael Herbers with Diamond Peak, 1313 White Hawk Drive in Crown Point. As stated, we are here seeking to extend our primary plat for Harvest Creek, located at 9210 West 155th Avenue in Cedar Lake. I was before you 2 weeks ago at the work session, letting everyone know that nothing has changed from this plat over the last plus or minus 3 years. So we are just waiting for infrastructure to be increased so we can start our development. So looking to extend for another year in hopes that we can cross all the T's, dot all the I's with that, and get rolling.
Was this for 98 homes?
Yes, sir.
I would assume engineering has nothing.
No, this is just a renewal of what was already approved.
Right. Do I need to call re-administrators?
No.
Is there a date? Is there a date where it's extended to, or?
1 year from today.
I don't know, that's not in time, I don't think.
So yes, February 18th, 2027.
When was the expiration, though? It's not on the 18th, is it?
Pardon me?
The expiration wasn't the 18th, was it?
I can't recall.
It's not the 18th, but 1 year extension from the expiration.
Oh, from the expiration? Okay.
Mr. President?
Yes.
A couple questions, may I?
Yes?
Mr. Herbers, when does your company plan to get going on this project?
We were ready when it got approved 3 years ago.
Okay,
But
well,
we-
that's 3 years ago.
Yeah, we were not able to pull any tasks even though we were told to, or we were told we were able to. I can't get the NOI signed by the town because I guess there's still discussions with IDEM on water, so.
So it's utility infrastructure that's the holdup?
Correct.
Okay, all right, that needed to be on the record, I think. One last question. Is any of your company's property subject to any annexation that is not within the town limits currently?
On this piece here?
Well, this piece is identified, it's in the town.
Correct.
Any property your company owns adjacent to this property,
No,
outside the town limits?
not to my knowledge, no.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, John.
Okay. Here again, I assume, Tim, you have nothing?
No, just the 1 year from the expiration date. I'm not exactly sure of that date either, but it's coming up here soon.
Okay. Commissioners, anything?
It's not their problem, it's our problem. Currently, we're trying to figure it out.
Right?
This extension's for 1 year?
Yes.
Is there a limitation on these extensions?
Well, there's no extension permitted by express language in your subdivision
Okay.
ordinance, so.
Doesn't say we can't.
Doesn't say you can't.
Okay.
That's why you're doing it.
And there again, it's not their fault that they haven't started, it's because we can't supply them with the necessary stuff they need.
Yeah. Well, there's other things I'm thinking of, Bob.
Okay.
That have revolved around, well, you didn't say it can't.
I'll make a motion to extend it for 1 year.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mr. Parker to extend, seconded by Mr. Wilkening. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swett?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wolfgang?
Yes.
Mr. Capora?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Update items.
I don't remember that.
Fireway Farms Plan Unit Development Update. Yes, Tim?
I just want to explain the thought process here. Last time they were here, they got a recommendation contingent on a couple items, building department approval, legal review. They've been at the building department for a couple review meetings in the past couple months. We've kind of moved along to the new packet that was sent to you guys a week or so ago, just with some clarifications of the development plan. If you look at that picture, it shows wall height, square footages, overall heights of every building on there, just for clarity, so there's no more kind of gray areas in there. Every one of them has a maximum size, a height, outside wall height, and overall height. The water kind of situation was hashed out to have a public municipal water main extending onto the property to a point of where the taps could be taken off to the other properties, and that's in an easement, and it will become public property, public infrastructure, so that was figured out. The animal requirements was very clearly on the chart now, where you can see that it's based off of the, what was it, 17 acres, 14 acres or 17? I don't remember the,
30.
30
Total
acres.
14 animal units.
Yeah, 30 acres with 14 animal units, so it wasn't just, it's an easy math problem. There's enough information on there now to figure everything out without wondering which acres it's based on, 50 acres or 12 acres or whatever. Just kind of, we kind of went through, Michelle and I and Mr. Viss and Scott, and we all sat down and kind of went through everything and put parameters on everything, and I thought it'd be a good idea, Michelle and I both thought it'd be a good idea for you guys just to review this paper, and it was an opportunity for you guys, if you had any questions, to ask, or if you've seen anything that you guys would like to see adjusted prior to going to the council meeting, which where it's heading to in 2 weeks from today, or 2 weeks from yesterday. I guess it's gonna be on the council agenda. And also that fence on the southern line was added, that was talked about at the plan commission level, that was never kind of resolved, that's on there. So, these guys are here to answer any questions, but I just kind of wanted to explain. I know it's kind of an odd process that it came back to you guys for an update item, but I just thought it was an opportunity for you guys to see where it's gone since it left here, and just, if you did have anything, if you guys don't have any questions, or, like I said, it was my idea to bring it here just to try to keep you guys in the loop, I guess, as to the progress.
So you're good with having numbers on all these buildings now? Real numbers?
I mean, to me now, there's something, we have enforcement, me and Michelle both have felt comfortable now with that. The plan is what it is, but every one of those circles has, if you look at the charts, it has numbers, it has height, it has, there's a finite approval here. Everything that's on that paper's got a number. It's definitely a lot more clear than was here previously. So, I feel, obviously, the legal, I seen Dave's red marker, red pens on the legal review of the PUD, which I do not have any say on that. I just, the parameters of the development plan and the sizes of the lots, it's down to one house possibly being built on there in the future. The sewer is a private lift station with a force main connecting to the sewer, so that's gonna be their deal. And then he still has all of their engineering to tackle, here coming up after he gets through the PUD zoning process. So that was why it's here, and I just wanted to explain to you guys. I know there was a couple questions of why it came here prior to the council, but there was an opportunity to let you guys just have it for an update essentially, so that was all it was intended to do, and if you happen to see anything on there that, I mean, I just thought it'd be a good idea to look at it again, or look.
You said the lift station is private?
Lift station is private.
And the utility easement on the south side is where the water line would come in?
Well, the easement for the utility water line is gonna kind of be dependent on what they do for their engineering for the site, but they had kind of a drawing on there, but I guess at the end of the day, until they get their engineering review, do you know that's exactly where the water's gonna go? Not really.
Yeah.
I guess the point of it was that until the engineering design is done, they'll plat that, the easement will be, the water line will be in the easement, so.
Yeah, the anticipated.
So Mr. Viss, in the PUD, this will always be lot 1 and lot 2?
Right. Yeah, correct.
So with a private lift station, we're not gonna get into a subdivision arrangement someday where somebody's selling sewer access. We don't have any private lift stations, do we? Well, we have one up Parish that's a little, not really a lift station,
Yeah,
but
there's a couple in town, I think there's 3 of them.
So, to get around that, when we met with Ben and with Tim and with Michelle, one of the things that we clarified in the agreement is that there needs to be individual meters on any commercial piece that is receiving town water. So that's built in here, so that they will always be metered, there's no end around to sell off privately for your concern. Yeah. And the other issue is that, as Tim said, not an issue, but we don't know specifically where that water line's going to go, so what we built into the PUD is that once that's finalized, the town gets a 10-foot easement on either side. The other thing we clarified is that also off of that water main, whatever the building department engineers decide long-term we need for fire hydrants, my client has to install that, but those are then owned by the town.
Okay. So these private lift stations, where are these at?
Well, the lift station's gonna be kind of on the southern side.
But it's gonna be a lift station, it's not gonna be a pressure pump out to the street or anything. I mean, these private ones you're talking about.
Their engineer has a couple different companies that provide these, it's kind of an entire sewer system for the property, so the design and the actual.
But you and I have talked about this because long time ago, these things came to be.
Right.
All their sewer is gonna get pumped to Parish.
Correct.
Okay.
The other thing, Mr. Wilkeny, we built in is that any of those commercial entities that are going to have, for example, a commercial kitchen, there's a requirement that there's an accessible grease trap outside the building for the town. So that's built in as well.
I'm so glad that, we have something drawn real nicely like this. These these, drone pictures, are these existing?
Recent, yeah, the drone.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the negatives from a private lift station, Tim?
Well, I guess, there isn't really any negatives for the town. I mean, we are, he's gonna be a water, each one of these buildings is gonna be a town water customer. Their sewer rates are gonna be based on the amount of water that they use, which in turn gets delivered to our system, so.
Yeah.
I think for, with this number of buildings there, it's, it's not really justifiable to put in a $500,000 lift station for 6 buildings, so I don't know. There's a lot of it going on around areas with topography and, well, there's 2 possibly in the future, though, there could be up to 5 or 6 buildings. I'm counting
houses.
What could happen here according to your vision.
Well,
Right now, there's 2 buildings, so agreed.
I heard rumors that the existing building was, had some fast coming plans.
It would be good for the town.
Mr. Austin, is there some special language regarding the lift station and their responsibilities and things like that? Some language that has to be in there?
Well, there'll be permitting required, and we'll start with that
From IDEM?
item.
Okay.
That was another item. I know, Mr. Parker, one of the concerns that you had raised was fast action on this. We had initially 6 months, but that was 6 months from November, November 5. So I did move that 6 months to September, just to honor that 6 months that we had talked about, recognizing we're 4 months past November 5, so.
Do you have Mr. Austin's red pen version of this?
The last red pen version that I received, all those edits were incorporated in, and that was back in October.
Okay, all right. Can you make sure, Tim, he gets or somebody make sure he gets the latest version?
Yeah, we received Dave's review, so I didn't know what you were looking at.
Well, this.
Okay, I didn't.
But I did
Yeah.
receive those documents last Thursday
Yeah,
morning. I've read and reviewed it.
That's what I'm saying, this protocol is a little unusual.
No, and again, it was just it was surely just to keep you guys in, it's been, I mean, like Nathan said, it's been a couple months since it was here, there's been a lot of stuff done to meet the requirements of the approval that was left here before it could go, and my understanding anyway was that stuff needed to be done before it went to the town council, because.
Oh, that was the motion.
Right, so we've been hard at work to achieve that. And we've had several meetings and back and forth and changing and adjusting, and we kind of went through a bit at a time because there was a lot to go through, and we kind of worked through it, so.
It was a good process the last 3 months working with you and Michelle.
There was a lot to do, but we feel like we've done that part, and we got it to Mr. Austin, got to you, he received it when all the council and you guys received it for review, and we're just trying to go to the next step, so.
Nicely drawn.
We will get your comments.
So this is, we got everything that's ready to go?
We'll be at town council.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks.
Public comments, do we have any public comment? Hi, Rob.
Rob Hen, 13455 Parish Avenue. I wanted to talk to you guys, for a while, but I want to talk to you tonight about Chapter 17. Chapter 17, that was amended last year. Obviously, Chapter 17 is just that, Chapter 17 of the Cedar Lake zoning ordinance. And of course, it states in there that Plan Commission is to review all site plans to ensure that they meet the town's design guidelines. Then, of course, the amendments you guys passed last year, I understand why that was done, because you had a lot of older properties. I'm going to give some examples. You'd have a situation like where we took we put the Sweet Pea in where a service station was before, and that site had never had a site plan review ever prior. So, of course, that makes sense to have it come here and be reviewed. And I know you had some situations where you had a hot dog stand going where a realty was, and that makes sense to me as well, because I don't think that site had ever been reviewed by the Plan Commission at any point. My concern comes into is that, I want to use Railside for an example. Railside is a PUD, no different than Summer Winds or Lakeview Business Park. And the town zoning guidelines have already been met, and basically by ordinance, because the PUD is town ordinance, has already been met there. So it seems a little baffling to me that why they have to come back, or why a prospective business, whether it be commercial or industrial, has to come back again for another site plan review, or basically a site plan waiver, as you grant sometimes according to Chapter 17. So my point, and I don't want to confuse anybody, but the Chapter 17 basically states that anybody or any business, commercial and or industrial, has to come before you for site plan approval and or a site plan waiver if they need the waiver instead. But yet our PUD documents state the same thing. That is the design document. That is the town ordinance for the zoning for that area. So there's no reason for them to come back again, unless they're doing a full-blown site plan, then yes. But what we have there, the situation is, rail site PUD came before you for a year-long, review. You guys looked at that pretty hard and set that PUD and set that zoning criteria for that development. Then we come in and we want to, build a building. We have to come in for a site plan approval where the engineering is approved and you guys look at it then. Okay, so that's twice it's been it. Then we move somebody in, but they want to come in and occupy for a position or for a business that's already approved, and they have to come in again, because that's what Chapter 17, the new amendments say, that they have to come in again, which is just kind of basically ridiculous to have them come in a third time, because unless they're not meeting the requirements, but it should be easily navigated by staff next door to note that if they have that they're meeting the requirements or not. Because all the requirements are not only listed, you look at Chapter 7 of the code, of the zoning ordinance, it lists every business that's allowed to be in every business zoning district. If you look at the rail site PUD, on I think it's Chapter 4, it lists, there's 4 pages of businesses that are approved to be in there. So I guess my question is, why would a business that is already approved to be in there by ordinance in the PUD documents have to come back again in front of the planning commission to get another, to be approved again? And it's not a big deal. I mean, I don't mind coming and seeing you guys, but it just adds another delay and step of delays in getting people in there. I would think in a PUD situation, whether it be Lakeside, Railside, or even Summer Winds or some of the other ones, if somebody comes in and wants to move into that building that's already had a site plan approval, they should not have to come back before the board. That should, unless they're not meeting the requirements of the PUD. If they are, then they shouldn't have to come here. And that should be easily identifiable by staff next door, because they have all these documents in their possession. So, it's just not very clear to me.
I agree with you on the PUD. When the PUD agreement's signed, you know what businesses that you can attract for that development. I don't understand why Chapter 17 triggered for a new PUD. I guess, is that?
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Well, he's talking about the multiple visits, when everything's aligned, the multiple visits, which takes back to your examples, Mr. Henn.
I think the
Your examples.
Designed for pre-existing buildings.
Well, I understand that. That makes perfect sense. But when you're dealing with a PUD on a newer PUD,
It's already been discussed.
it's already been discussed. I mean, they're listed in the PUD if they can be in there or not. So why would that business have to come in again before you, just because Chapter 17 says they do?
Maybe there needs to be some language exempting PUDs.
It sounds a little redundant.
The authority you have under the zoning ordinance is police power that's vested in you by the state of Indiana in Title 36-74700 series. That is a jealously guarded authority, and it's not for your sake or his sake, but it's for those who are invitees and users of that property when sold or transacting in business or some fashion being utilized in the course of commerce. So
you're saying ultimately it protects the landlord and the tenant, or the owner and the purchaser?
it does. It's intended to do that. That's the reason it's here. It's the last look, if you will, at a change. Something that you contemplated that they came in and shown. And the Hen Company is probably the best example in our town. I talk about the Hens all the time, about how they did the railside PUD, they did it efficiently, they worked with this town to get that approval, did a good job of doing that, and they have seen turnover in owners or users of lots within their PUD, and they've gone incredibly smoothly. Contrast that to all the other PUDs that we've had difficulty navigating, steering, controlling, helping. We've had nothing but trouble with PUDs, and you need PUDs given circumstances in planning law that are occurring currently. I could go on for an hour about this. This is not something that sets back successful business owners like, the Hen family. It benefits them and benefits this community.
Well, Dave, I guess my question is, I want to give an example. We have a building that we just completed. Well, I'll give the one, probably, the one in the rear. Mike DeSimone, when we came in for the PUD for the development, it was vetted by the planning commission, obviously, and the town council. And we listed all the type of businesses that could be in that zone. We listed them out specifically, they're in there. I mean, you could have a garden center, a gas station, it's all listed in there. Every bit, we have 4 pages of types of businesses listed there. So that went through. Then when Mr. DeSimone built on lot 17, built the building, he prepared a site plan for the building, came in here, got approval, got engineering approval, got a site plan approval. Now Mr. DeSimone is leasing the building out, because that was always his intent. And now he has to bring his new tenant before they can decide to lease that back in front of here again, even though they're already approved in our PUD to be in there. So it makes no sense why they have to come in a third time.
It's a new business, Rob, that's why. The last look-see by these folks at the latest and newest business.
But I mean, there's nothing changing with the building, nothing changing with the site plan.
How do we know that? How do we know that
until
you go through a process?
They're gonna walk in here and they're gonna ask for a waiver. And you've already given like 5 waivers in there because, for the same thing. People that have moved in there. They come in here and say, oh, site plan's already been approved, we're just moving in there. And you've given them, oh, we're gonna give you a waiver. Well, it makes no sense to come in for a waiver when they're already listed and approved, when our PUD is ordinance. I guess that's my confusion, and it creates just another level everybody has to come in here. It makes it very difficult to get people to come when I say, well, I don't know when you can move in, because the first step, first thing you gotta do is go over there and get approval from the planning commission before you can occupy or move in. When they theoretically already are approved by our PUD. So it's just Greg, I agree with you, it's like a misstep in here. I understand the older businesses that never were in front of you, but the new ones that were in front of you and already listed, and had a site plan, this is the 3rd time they have to come in.
That might be a defect that needs to be tweaked. I mean, we can certainly have some discussion about it. I don't know how to fix it. I'm sorry?
It's definitely up to you.
I don't. I mean, thanks for bringing it up. Certainly food for thought tonight. Not gonna snap our fingers.
No.
There's a few things in that thing that need to be fixed. And in this thing that we thought we fixed, it now has presented other problems. Been really good for the buildings that have never, some of you listed.
Oh, I
have never
agree.
gone through
I
the
agree. It's
process.
been fantastic for those.
But for yours being brand new and spelled out in a PUD agreement, I can see that that's.
And we've got 8 buildings
Well,
there
done it
with
too.
now multi-tenants. We probably had 12 or 13 have to come before you already. And it makes it very difficult, and, it's a long delay. So, that's what I wanted to bring up, and hopefully we can clean that up a little bit.
How many tenants in one of your big buildings? How many tenants are allowed in there in the PUD? I don't recall.
I don't think it matters as long as they meet, I think it just says multiple tenants in our PUD.
Multiple tenants?
Yeah, as long as we meet the parking, we have enough parking.
Yeah.
Obviously the site plan
It
meets.
meets the guidelines.
Meets the guidelines.
As long as it's not outside the guidelines of your PUD agreement.
Right. I don't think there's anything going to be more than 4 is pretty much what we've limited to, because, any more than that becomes a problem with those items.
That particular property?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just, I'm trying to backtrack in my head, and all I run into are existing things that have nothing but haunted us, and then, people stand here and say, oh, yeah, and then they take off and go do something different.
A new commercial development, though, that has a PUD agreement it should be vetted.
I understand.
I
Is that chapter 3 of, page 3 of chapter 17? All businesses shall come in front of the
The first sentence.
first sentence, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it would just be nice to get that cleaned up. But you're right, Greg, it does work well for the older ones, and there was a big problem with those. But those had never come before the plan commission, some of those buildings.
Sometimes when.
That page 3 has been a problem.
Yeah.
The baby gets thrown out with the bathwater. and you get the baby back in the bathwater.
Yeah, I mean, I brought it up to Ben a while back, but that was, because this has come up multiple times now for us, and I brought it up to Ben about, maybe talking about it, but that was when he first, came on, and he had his plate full, so I didn't want to bother him with that.
Well, that rail side has been the textbook boilerplate of the century.
Well, thank you.
Started out right, worked out right, finished right.
It's a phenomenal development.
Well, thanks.
Don't
Wish we could go a little faster, but we're going.
Don't mean to make it harder for you.
No, well, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
I mean, they only gotta wait 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Get in here and say what they gotta say and go on their way.
Okay. All right, thanks, guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Registrations for businesses now. Gotta clear the register. It's more price.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Terry Broaders,
Won't give you any.
631 North State Street, Lockport, Illinois, represent my property here at 14513 Morris. I'd like to backtrack a little bit. I'm kind of sad that the owners of the Friary walked out when they did. I have a couple comments on what was discussed tonight on the Friary, and I wanted to tell them how much I'm looking forward to them opening. I think it's a great idea, great location. I think that everything they want to do there is there. There's a couple of things that were discussed tonight about public infrastructure. I just want to go over my notes and kind of just clarify. It was discussed tonight that they would be on public water with a public water main on a public easement on their property, correct? And they would be supplying us with fire hydrants, and which again would be turned over to the town as infrastructure.
That's what I heard.
Yes. And then, so my question then would be, that means that them customers would be calling our water department for service, our water department for problems, or anything of such, right? But
Hang on, would the easement be access to you up to a certain point, or up to every building?
Just the water main.
just the main.
Just the
And then
main.
the water to the building would be their responsibility, just like in any other situation, right?
Exactly the same.
But moving from there, and I don't have a problem with that at all. I think it's best they're on public water. Moving forward from there, let's go to the waistline. That's where the problem lies, right? We're talking about giving a lift station, having a private lift station, so that poses a bunch of questions. If they're on a public water, and that bill is being produced on gallons, and they're paying waste on those gallons, that bill is gonna come in the same bill form, but we don't own that waistline. We don't own if we don't own the lift station, I guess the best way to pose this question would be, if the lift station was at Parish, and it had 20 feet of pipe to Parish's main, would they own the lift station and everything in the property to the buildings, and we would own from the lift station to the main? And if that be the case, who's gonna service those lines? What if they got a problem? They're gonna call our water department first, obviously, because that's where their bill's coming from. But if we don't own the pipe, we can't dig up a waistline or service his lift station. And again, going back to something you said, Mr. Wilkeny, what happens down the road 20 years from now, 10 years from now? This is a problem that will come back and creep up and bite the residents of that time right into you-know-what. Turning over public infrastructure of that magnitude, with that much stuff that's gonna happen on that ground, I just feel like, who's gonna service it? Who's gonna make sure it's serviced? Who's gonna make sure the gallons that we're putting into the buildings is the only gallons pumped back in? There's so many open-ended questions when you turn over infrastructure underground. I'm flabbergasted.
Mr. Broadhurst, I have a tremendous amount of questions about the definition of lift station. Because as I mentioned, I've seen all kinds of funky things.
Well, I mean, if we could just...
Up in the house, out to a dirt lagoon, and down the ditch.
Well, Mr. Wilkeny, if we could just determine what exactly they would own. Would they own from the lift station and all the underground pipes to their
They will
buildings?
own the entire
Waste.
sanitary system. It will discharge into the town sewer.
So we would own from the main to the lift station pipe?
No.
So he would own from the main to the lift station and then on beyond?
His tap will be just like every other tap in the town.
I understand that, but my
We don't
question
have
is,
any ownership of it.
Mr. Kubiak, is that who's gonna guarantee that service for the clients that are paying rent to the water, paying the water bill every month?
That property owner, it's his property.
Okay, so are we gonna have in the contract, is, in his leases, will he state in the contract, any problem with waste, you call me, not the water department? Do you understand of the level of
It's the same
confusion
exact
and...
situation as
And then somebody said something about why have him build a waste station for 6 buildings? Well, he's trying to develop the land. Shouldn't that be his responsibility to build a lift station to supply the waste for them 6 buildings? I was confused when you said, why should we make him pay for that?
Oh, no, I think, well, somebody said something about why would he have to put in, he's only doing 6 buildings, why would he have to spend $500,000 on a lift station?
Because he's putting in 6 buildings.
Well, hang
on his property.
I'm getting to a question. The question is, what is the definition of this lift station? Is it gonna be like a commercial lift station? Is it gonna be a...
Generator?
Is it gonna be a, 6-foot structure in the ground, 20 feet deep with a couple pumps?
And again, the lift station design is coming with the engineering.
Okay.
So I guess that's kind of, there's still some questions, and that still has to be approved. The actual
That has to be
design.
approved by...
Yeah.
We had similar questions
Okay.
with backup redundancy of pumps, generator, backup power, like, all of that is to come. It's just that they want to have their own, they have 2 buildings. They're gonna have the building, and they're gonna have the wedding venue, and then potentially up to 6 buildings, and if you look at the whole thing, which, again, this is the proposed plan, the engineering is yet to come, but there is no, I understand what he's saying, and that's why the tap, the force main and the tap is just like every, everybody's sewer tap is their own. There is a lift station in the mix, I get it, and that's something that's gonna go through engineering.
Terry, I'll let you reclaim your time. Mr. Austin, is there a problem? A problem we're missing with a private lift station?
No.
Okay.
It's who's gonna run it, who's gonna oversee it, who's gonna be accountable, who's gonna be responsible.
Okay.
And we have another lift station on Parrish that went to the west, that when a guy that worked at a bank named Anderson, that covered what, 3 or 4 houses back there?
That was a long time ago, Bob.
Yeah.
Well, and
So
How was
ultimately-
that handled?
Sorry, Terry. So ultimately, if there's a failure of that lift station,
It's his problem.
it's the property owner's issue.
Correct.
The neighbors are chasing him, not us.
We don't know what the permit will say from IDEM either about responsibility.
So details to follow.
So,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
and thank you, Mr. Wilk. I guess that's a great way to sum up what I'm trying to say here. There's just so many unanswered questions on such an important part of our infrastructure. There's, to build an infrastructure and to grow an infrastructure and try to help out wet areas as we've done, or I've seen you've done in the past, is a great thing. And again, I think the Friary idea is a great thing. I still don't like the idea of our town giving up infrastructure. I just think it's a bad idea. It opens the door for a lot of problems down the road. And Lord knows, since the 4 years I've been watching these meetings, a lot of our problems are our own fault. This is an opportunity for us to get in front of it, rethink it. And if you are going to give up a lift station, which would be actual public utility, I think you really need to look at the contracts, making sure that they know who's responsible. And that goes to the future tenants, and it should be supplied in their leases. Again, I guess the devil's in the details. That's one of your lines. There's a lot of details here, guys, and I just hope that, and again, I don't want to bad rap the project. I think it's a great project, but the infrastructure is pretty important to the town. I'd hate 10 years from now to be kicking ourselves in the butt because they decided to sell off half the property or what have you.
Looking at all the options during this discussion and looking at it, Terry, the amount of service and the amount of maintenance and the amount of what needs to be done to maintain that lift station, even if you give it to us, the town is going to take on that responsibility and liability for potentially 2 buildings, maybe 6 buildings. So the cost of the electric and the maintenance and the taking care of it and all of that is going to be a burden on the town because of the amount of customers. If this was a 300-home subdivision, you are 100% correct. But if you do the math based on the usage,
I get it.
We're taking on a lot of maintenance, electric bills, cleaning, taking care of responsibility, monitoring, the whole deal for potentially 2 units, and that's basically a restaurant and a wedding venue that's gonna be used on the weekend,
On the
so.
weekend.
That
And
is,
Tim, I
and
can-
your thing is valid, I get it.
No, no,
I
and you
understand
make
your
a great point.
That's kind of the.
Where it costs us money.
That was
That's a
kind of
great-
the logic of the thought process. So
And-
it's
and
not just like we don't want it and it costs too much, but once it's there, we now own it forever, we now take care of it, and it's kind of like, if it was a whole subdivision with, 300 people dependent on it or whatever, I think it's a different, 100% different.
And I can understand the overhead costs.
But that's just kind of that was the kind of the thought process
trade-off.
going through it, is it's just, this property is limited to these little bit of use, it's 61 acres.
Well,
The development plan is there, you see the potential of what possibly could be there. So with those customers, the amount of revenue coming in for that possible sewage
For
is
that
not
overhead.
going to be enough for us to want us to take care of that lift station for them. We're kind of, actually, I think I started out in your exact same thought process, I'm not gonna lie, that was my same thing, but after looking at the potential collection of revenue from these places, and then the overall cost it's gonna cost us to maintain and take care of and monitor and all that, it was a better idea to let them manage their own deal, pay for the gallonage going in, and then go to the system. And that's my opinion after looking at all of those, but I
Tim, I can't argue with
had
that.
the same exact thought as you did starting out. I thought
No,
the
no, that's,
private thing was
you
a
put
terrible
thought
idea.
into it, and it sounds,
Right, I mean,
it's a good
I
thought.
mean, that was.
But I guess what I would say, I don't
Okay,
have a pro- hold on,
we've
sir.
had enough of that, we've got your point.
Hold on, can I just?
We got your point, you're way over your 3 minutes, so
Well, Mr. Corr, thank you for your evening.
you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Do we have any other, public comment? Any other public comment? Jerry?
Yeah, I just wanted to continue this. Tim, the process for value to the town, I totally get it. Did Mr. McAlpine do all this design work and drawings and everything?
That is, I believe that the intent is to have this PUD zoning approval before he releases all of the design work on the drawing, so that's coming forward. So
Well,
that's gonna be a big
Mr.
part
Viss
of
was,
the-
Mr. Viss made it very clear that there was extensive meetings, extensive discussions. And if you're doing design work for them, you should be paid for it.
No design, just the discussion of the lift station and all that, but essentially, the design is yet to come. That's why I don't have a great answer for the lift station and that, because we don't have it as of yet. We just have the concept and the idea, and we as in me, and talking through it with the public water main, with the taps, the B boxes, the service lines are.
Yeah.
It's like Terry explained, it's essentially the same as everywhere else. We have public town water meters in every building. We know how much water is being put into the sewer system.
Okay. So,
It just seemed like it's,
Luke, does IDEM will have a requirement on what this lift station is all about? Will they have specifications that this has to meet? I mean, there's a few of us in the room that could make a lift station in a hurry, but, IDEM's gonna have a different idea.
I think not hard and fast rules, but some basic rules such as redundancy and capacity and
Emergency
things-
power.
And things that I think that we would do anyway, just because we know that.
What happens?
What would, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay, all right, I got
and I
that.
guess at the end of the day, we as in the town, we have to approve those engineering plans for the sewer and the water as this is, right now, we're in the zoning and the conceptual
Yeah.
ideas of the property use, but all of
Yeah, but
those-
obviously there's way more discussions going on.
well, all of those
But if-
details
yeah,
are
but-
gonna be worked out in the engineering now.
You think you've got it to a point that it can be engineered now?
Well, that's the thought, that's why we wanted it hashed out the way that, that was the whole point of going through what we did, so they can proceed with paying somebody to engineer it on something that we're agreeable to, as long as it meets our requirements, but I agree with, I was on Terry's same page with the lift station at the beginning until looking at the possible revenue.
There's no value in
Kind
that.
of a burden for us. more
Yeah,
than a-
there's no value.
But we definitely gotta have monitoring, backup power, and, all that stuff. It's gonna be, and the water seems like, like I said, it seems like we have a pretty good plan for the use of the property and the volume of infrastructure that they're gonna need.
I think you had another public comment.
Did you call it yet?
Not yet, sorry.
Come on up.
Joyce Ivy, 13874 Hatteras Lane, Cedar Lake. Just a couple questions. The first question I have is, I think it was asked before at the last meeting, but why isn't the packet that you guys receive also on the website so we can look?
I don't know, that's
Is that,
staff or something, I don't know.
is that possible, Tim, to have the packet along with the agenda?
I don't know, I mean, we have a hard time getting it here to everybody, but we try to get the agenda posted, but I don't know if there's any, we don't really post the packets, do we post the packets for any other meetings?
Town council.
I don't do that, huh?
Town council.
We pass the whole packet, so.
Well,
I
then-
imagine we can work towards doing that.
In this iPad, I was, as I'm scrolling, there's 57 pages,
Mhm.
and a lot of it is legal jargon,
Right.
you know.
Well,
We're trying to kind of get a system where we get some of that old stuff taken off that over the time, because they kind of accumulate, like the ones that have been on there for 4 months, we just keep adding.
Ma'am, are you talking about like a site plan?
Well,
Like
what-
just like a drawing or
what
something like
you guys got
that?
to see tonight about what the proposed plans are with the Friary property? Yeah, I'd like
Oh.
to see that.
Can you get her email and shoot her over what we got? I mean, it's not like,
I'm just
it's not
curious.
private, is it?
No, it's like
Yeah.
a Freedom of Information Act, and, you know.
Yeah. Give Tim or Cheryl your email.
And I don't know why you just, like I get a package emailed to me, you could probably email a package to her, right?
Well, the only problem with that is you're gonna put a drawing out there, or a site plan, or what have you, and then it changes. People get this one here, and it's no longer good after we clean it up over a period of meetings. And so now someone's got this plan that says, what are, putting this, for instance,
Yeah, it's hard. 'cause
where the
there's a lot of
funeral
things-
home was,
there's a lot of things
and
changing.
what's going up over there.
Well, it should say,
I mean,
it should say concept on it.
but that doesn't register to some of the lay people out there.
I understand.
Okay.
Now, I'm not against you looking at anything, you know, but, yeah, just have to be leery of that.
So a couple questions. With that, you were talking about the meter, each building would have their own meter?
Water meter.
And that's for
Water.
just, I know that, sir.
Okay, sorry.
Just so that they can tell which building is using how much water, or, you know, it sounded to me like there were going to be separate,
Building
different
Well,
people come in there and do things.
Yeah, the sewage is gonna be based on the accumulation of all those water meters,
Okay.
right?
So that
That's
each
how,
building has
yeah.
to have their own, okay.
Yeah. Now how the landlord sorts that out is up to him.
Just for billing purposes for us.
It's built, yeah.
And then it was discussed before that there was gonna be 300 parking spaces.
At
That
the
was like an
Friary?
estimate, yeah, like as a whole, because of the different buildings, and there would be weddings and whatnot. I thought it was like it was estimated 300 spaces. So I was wondering if, and I can't remember, if there was discussion about on Parish
Well,
Avenue.
ma'am, you bring up a wonderful point.
It's still conceptual, but I didn't count them.
The drawing we have right here really doesn't show any.
The three
No,
parkings,
they're over here.
the parkings are listed on that plan, down there.
Some of it is, isn't it?
Well,
No, there's three
parking lot.
and they all have a size.
Yeah, parking lot, 15,000 square feet, up on the hill where the building's at now, to the west. That's another 15,000 square foot parking. There's a 14 to the south of the main drive-in, looks like. Something in the back, behind the old garage, back to the southeast.
And again, still concept.
Right.
When it's engineered and a site plan, a final site, all that's gonna be.
Right, there's the three parking lots are listed, and the maximum size of the three parking lots are there.
Tim, Dave, do you have a problem with her taking a picture of what's on this screen?
No.
It's public record.
You can take a picture of this if you want. It'll make a good picture. It's well done.
Well, I mean, I can't even see it. When I'm looking at this, I couldn't
Okay.
see anything anyway. But, anyway, I thought that, Mr. Viss in that discussion, you guys kind of agreed that, 300 spaces. But my next question is about any turn lanes that would be on Parish Avenue, like just say there was an event going on that day, and, Parish the way it is, it's kind of windy and
That's a good point.
easy to get rear-ended.
If you look in that is in the PUD, and that is gonna be an easement based on the design that Mr. Alpine is doing for the turn lane, that will be a requirement, and
Here you go.
it's in the agreement.
Where do you get that?
So, it's just yet to come because we don't know.
He gets a pack.
Bob has everything.
This is, I
Bob,
think we're
you
talking
were
about
special, Bob.
zoning, so it's very difficult.
Because I imagine
I
that,
get it, but it's
depending
like-
on where they're turning in, I mean, in some spaces on Parish, there would not be enough, it's not wide enough, depending
You
on.
mean like for southbound traffic?
Well, or, anything.
Yeah.
That's just
So
a
there-
question.
A passing lane for southbound traffic?
That's been discussed,
Yeah.
that because I asked who's paying for it,
Okay.
and the developer's paying for that turn lane.
That's right.
North and south?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever road work needs to be done.
Okay.
Okay, all right,
All right.
that's it, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other public comment? Seeing none, public comment is closed. We're adjourned.